morning, everybody. I'm Don Yoakum. This is Atomic Habits, and today we have a very special guest, my personal coach, Matt Lovitt. He was introduced to me by Marcus Truman, who's also been my coach. And I was asking Marcus, I was telling him about my quest to get fit and improve my HRV. And he goes, well, my man for that is Matt. And so he made the connection, and Matt has been personally coaching me on my health and energy. And even before meeting Matt, I've long believed that maintaining a healthy lifestyle does have a direct correlation to our performance, well, in all aspects of our life. And I've certainly seen that people that have stayed really fit or participated in sports at a higher level tend to outperform those that don't. And I've asked myself, well, what is it about those people? And you don't have to have been a collegiate or professional athlete to excel in our industry. But I think you do want to possess the qualities that are required of those athletes. And that's to be coachable, first of all, to show up, to persist when you get knocked down, to get back up and go again. And you need to have the energy to do that. So without further ado, I will have Matt introduce himself, and he has a presentation for us that I know will be of value to you. So with that, Matt, take it away.
Thanks, Don. Everybody in the chat, can we all please wish Don a happy early birthday? Tomorrow is a very special day. And let's just see who's here in the chat.
I'm going over 40 plus 20.
It's the fourth quarter.
Oh.
All right. Thanks for having me. I woke up this morning very excited to speak with you all today. This is how to upgrade your energy so you can sell more real estate. I hope y'all take notes. I hope you do screenshots. I hope you get whatever you need out of this. Please, I know there's lots of smart people in here. Please contribute in the chat. Any experiences you've had or anything you want to share, that'd be great. Some of my background.
Matt, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Eric, will you feature Matt? I don't see him on my camera, and I'm not sure why. Oh, there he is.
I'm sharing the screen.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Matt.
Got me?
I got you.
So guys, some of my background, I work with busy dads, and right now I'm noticing their energy, and they've got to be physically, mentally, and emotionally energetic. There's 3 different categories there. Everybody here, type 1 in the chat. Have you ever noticed that some days you have more energy and some days you have less energy? And can you think of what causes more energy, what causes less energy? Just toss some ideas out. Sleep, my diet, lack of sleep. Sleep's a big one, right? We're going to get into this. Nutrition, mindset, yes. So 3 types of energy: mental, physical, and emotional. So at the bottom is emotional energy. These are our deep beliefs, the excitement. This is what we reinforce with affirmations. That's not what this is about today. Because you're at where you're at, you probably have some belief already. Today is physical energy, exercise, supplements, diet, sleep, the maximizing of the daily energy cycle. And at the very top is like mental energy, time, focus, clarity, planning, habits, routines. So just to put this into context, today is physical. Now, I'm from New Orleans, where there's lots of eating, there's lots of drinking, there's lots of tired people. So I've had a chance to observe these patterns, probably magnified more than most other cities. Have you guys ever noticed your employees, any of them, that don't sleep well, that don't eat well, that don't work out? What are the consequences of their performance when they have low physical energy? It goes down, right? Not good. So if we have low energy, what happens? When our physiology is off, we tend to be more anxious. We're emotionally volatile. We can be depressed. And those fluctuating emotions can lead to very bad decisions. We don't sleep well when we don't manage our physiology. We get sick. That's time, that's money away. And now we have to spend all this energy solving these health problems when we could be working more or spending time with our family. And we simply just don't get as much work done because we don't have the energy. We're physically tired. Ultimately, we make bad decisions that affect everyone around us. And we miss out on living an exciting life. You'll be tired all the time, or you want to be energized and emotionally happy. The quality of your life is the quality of your emotional state. It's a law of nature. Things are always either moving forward and getting better or moving backwards and getting worse. Things never stay the same. So as the years go by, is your energy improving or is your energy decreasing? What do you notice about your performance on the days when your energy is up? Your conversations with people, your number of phone calls you make, number of events, the energy that you bring to a situation. What do you notice on those days when you're slept, when you're fed, when you've exercised? Don, Marcus taught me this acronym, HALT, HALT, hungry, angry, lazy, tired. Fed, slept, exercised, rested. So, but what's possible when we have great energy, when we get into good habits and we have a good rhythm, we sleep well. We mentioned that earlier. We wake up ready to work consistently. Now we start to feel optimistic about the possibilities of our growth and our business. You guys are in control of your growth. How much work would you get done if you had great energy every day? How would that affect communicating with people all day? Every phone call you're on, every agent you speak with, every potential client, every networking associate. When you bring that positive energy, people want to be around that. You would also make a lot less bad decisions. And one bad decision can really set you back. So staying on balance will keep you making good decisions and also avoid bad decisions. You can also get energy to have great ideas. You'll have more great ideas and you'll have the energy to execute those great ideas. So ultimately, when we have great ideas, we maintain momentum, which is huge. Life feels easier. Success feels effortless. You look better, feel better, and your bank account gets bigger. What if you made 5 times as many phone calls a day? What if you closed 10 times as many deals? Imagine that. What would you do with that extra capital? So here's a big misconception. So I've got 20,000 hours of experience working with high performers, a lot of personal training, a lot of one-on-one coaching, and I've just been around these coaching circles forever. And I see this pattern all the time. People say they don't have enough time. They think they don't have enough time. At the end of the day, they don't have enough energy. And most people are operating less than 50% of what they could be doing. There's a lot that we can gain energetically. And we use these Oura rings. I know Don has one. I use one. We track these metrics, and I've been tracking people forever. I know you have a lot going on, but some people seem to get it all done. And those people are not any smarter than you. Why can't you be that person that gets all that done?
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
You're making me think about one of your clients. I know you have a client that is uber wealthy. I think you were mentioning like 100 million or something. And one of the things that he said to you one day is all about the big momentum.
Yeah.
And I think that that's one of the characteristics of somebody that's really healthy, is that they can keep things in momentum because they're able to show up day after day after day. You know, Tom Days is probably our best example of that, of just doing the work each day. I mean, the guy is like 69 years old and outperforming 23-year-olds, you know?
Yeah. It'd be nice to interview him to see what his daily flow is like. What I notice is I have this morning virtual workout class where these guys log in, we work out for half an hour and they log out. And the thing that they mention most, you know, of course they lose weight and they get in shape and they feel good. But what they say is my to-do list is empty. So it's not a time issue. It's an energy issue. And today we're going to talk about how to increase your energy. These 20,000 hours of experience that I have working with people that walk through that door, I ask them, how are you feeling today? And I've had this conversation 20, 40,000 times. Their sleep, their supplements, their diet, their routines, their habits, I've gotten so familiar with. So I'm going to show y'all the small things that are important. This is really important because we have to identify the real problem before we find the solution. And hopefully you'll start to learn how much control you have over your productivity. Thank you, Jackie. So why are people operating at half energy? Here's the cycle. Here's the cycle that I see a lot, and y'all might notice this in your agents. So it starts off with, and we'll just, because it's a cycle, but we'll start off in the afternoon. There's an energy crash. Because of that energy crash, they consume something to lift them up, some kind of caffeine, some kind of stimulant. This affects their ability to fall asleep. Now they're not getting deep quality sleep. So now they're not waking up with energy. So then in the morning when they wake up, they chug a bunch of caffeine. So they're drowsy from melatonin, from the Tylenol PM, from the alcohol, from whatever. And they wake up feeling drowsy. So they consume tons of caffeine. Some people use prescription amphetamine. Some people use nicotine, all stimulants. So then in the afternoon, their energy crashes again. And we're back to number one, except now we increase the dosage. And over time, these problems start to set in. So have you guys seen this with your agents? Have you seen this with your coworkers? And what you get is, at first, it's a limited ability to focus. And then it's they can't think deeply. They can't go for as long. They age faster. People get really, really triggered when you say, oh, I'm going to age faster. Oh, no. Anxiety and depression, bad digestion, joint pain, liver problems, emotional issues. The hormonal systems get drained. They burn out. They get tons of health problems. They lose momentum. They're not producing enough melatonin naturally to sleep. They're not producing enough cortisol focus in the morning to function. So I've tested all this stuff. Like, you can have somebody spit into a tube and freeze it 4 times a day and mail it off and get a total number. I had a guy a couple of years ago, the reference range was 23 to 27. This guy did it and scored a 12. He had no focus hormone, no cortisol production. In about 7 months, we got him up to about a 22 or 23 with some of these tools. Is any of this making sense so far? All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anybody have an idea about how to solve this before I share what I've got?
Well, I have found that in my case, of course, having you as a support accountability partner has been great. If they can't have that, they need something. You know, I've just found if you can have a buddy, like Tom and I have done 75 Hard together, you know, it's not complicated stuff, but it's a lot of the really simple, good things that you do for yourself day in and day out, right? And also not do, as you pointed out, whether that be alcohol or nicotine or caffeine or what else.
So I'll just throw in one of my favorite quotes is, you don't have to be great. You just have to be consistent. And life is changing. Our body is changing. The world is changing. The real estate market is changing. So it's constantly about adapting, evolving, and growing. I mean, I'm just going to little sidebar with this big NAR thing. You know, we need to adapt, and we need to evolve, and we need to grow, whether it's spiritually, physically, business, or our, you know, getting in shape. So I think that's kind of a key.
Yeah, and absolutely, Tom. And one of the things, you know, I noticed that Kevin posted on Facebook the other day that he was logging his 300th consecutive day of exercise, right? And so what I want you guys to notice is that Tom is super diligent. I'm super diligent. Kevin's super diligent. In other words, if we're really busy, I mean, Tom's been the #1 KWH in the world 7 times, okay? If he's got time to exercise, you've got time. News alert. Go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
That's a great point. You guys touched on some of the stuff I've put in that mental and emotional category. in the chat, you guys are talking about all the stuff I'm talking about in this presentation today. I'm keeping it on the physical today. So this is kind of like technically, physically, how to manage it. Consistency it's there, it's right there, and we're going to go right there. So the solution. So think about these agents that you have that have this issue. The starting point for rehabbing them, fixing them, helping them, getting them to nudge forward. The starting point is getting them to avoid the afternoon stimulants. Then they'll get better sleep. Then we get them moving in the morning. Then we teach them how to fuel up for the day. And going to bed and waking up at consistent times is important. Exercising whenever possible, super important. But the starting point, I want to hammer this down, is avoiding the stimulants in the afternoon so you can get down for a natural sleep and get into that hormonal rhythm. Think of the agents right now that you have that could benefit from that simple change. And we're going to talk more about this cycle. So how to get better sleep? Well, remove or minimize alcohol. We notice on the Oura Ring, alcohol decreases your recovery by at least 50%. Eating at night will mess with your sleep 3 hours before bed. Stressful people will increase your stress. Remove and minimize those. And then the obvious bad food. We all know what those foods are: sugar, fried food, bread. All these things that inflame your system. Heavy meat at night will prevent you from sleeping deeply because your body has to work to digest it. And minimizing stimulants. Some people don't recognize that nicotine is a very strong stimulant. And probably with these younger people and these vapes, that's an issue. But how to use and manage caffeine is interesting. During the weekend, have a much lower dosage so that during the week, it's more potent. When you take a theanine supplement or you use green tea, it's going to spike up less and it'll digest slower. Personally, I don't use caffeine right now, but there are times that I do, and this is how I manage it. No caffeine within 90 minutes of waking up. All these adenosine chemicals need to flush. Some of these sleep chemicals need to flush out of your body before we block them with the caffeine. So you wait 90 minutes, but then you don't want to have the caffeine within 10 hours before you go to bed. So it's that after 90 minutes of waking up, and that's 10 hours before you go to bed, that window is where you would consume your stimulants, if you consume any caffeine. I had this one client, a doctor, he would drink decaf at night, and he had sleep issues. And decaf's got 4 or 5 milligrams of caffeine in it. And this guy stopped drinking decaf, and his sleep got a lot better just from that little bit. So it does have an effect. Other ways to get better sleep. We got to get 6 hours. That's the absolute minimum. Waking up without an alarm, a colder room, a consistent sleep schedule. This is probably the most important one. Waking up at the same time every day is huge. Minimizing stimulants in the afternoon, waking up at the same time every day to get back into rhythm. Any stretching or foam rolling, a hot bath with magnesium at night's great. Meditation and breathing at night. I've noticed recovery metrics, sleep metrics are better on days where I've done some heavy breathing, some high intensity interval training. Sauna helps, yoga, any stretching, any releasing of tension. Yoga nidra is something I use like a power nap midday to recharge. That's called non-sleep deep rest, yoga nidra. And then a lot of magnesium at night relaxes the body. A lot of that stuff's fundamental. I'm sure you have heard that places before, but just to review that, I can confirm I've seen these things statistically. Once you wake up from your great night of sleep, then what do you do to get energy for the day? Well, exercise, ideally in the morning or something. I have one client, this guy loves a good cold dip. So he'll jump into an ice bath almost every morning, and he's in there for 20 minutes at, freezing temperatures. Guy's crazy. He's got great energy. But prioritizing exercise, because if you exercise, that's going to have the most inspiration for you to do the rest of this stuff. So we tend to eat better after we exercise. We tend to sleep better after we exercise. We have an increased ability to manage stress and stressful people when we exercise. So exercise is a starting point. Minimizing afternoon stimulants. We said wake up consistently at the same time every day and exercising. But in real estate, there's really, there's no stress with real estate deal making. I mean, y'all are dealing with perfectly logical people all the time that don't give you any headaches. So how in shape do you have to be? I hope you sense my sarcasm.
You must. We know you're kidding. We tell people that in addition to your real estate license, you might need a counseling degree, and we play psychologist, crisis management, etc.
It's a massive decision for them that they don't make all the time. So I imagine y'all, I hope you'll have training on that because it sounds relevant. Some of my clean ways to fuel up over the years. So you wake up well rested. And there's a couple supplements and a couple foods that I really like to focus on. I think choline is underrated, and I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. Blueberries, there's data. They tested all these different supplements and stuff against like cognitive function, and blueberries beat everything. And what's the downside of eating blueberries? I mean, definitely eat blueberries. And then water, hydration, fundamental, at least half your body weight every day is a good number. Some people say your full body weight. I think you're going to be peeing all day if you do that. So half your body weight. But being hydrated is not just consuming water. It's also consuming electrolytes. What I've noticed, and I can't get too much into this story, but I've had several people come to see me and I've lost them as clients because they came in, they had no energy. I said, hey, take these 3 electrolyte pills. And 6.5 minutes later, they say the lights turned on. Whoa. And they're telling me how like they're thirsty and they're drinking water at night and they're, and I could definitely see like they have an electrolyte deficiency. So man, they took these, I solved their problem. They didn't need me anymore. That's how I lost them as a client. So if there's a deficiency, you're not functioning to maximum capacity. Fish oil reduces brain inflammation, triglycerides, helps with emotional issues, mountains of data on fish oil, mountains of data on vitamin D. These two are, to me, fundamental. So they're some of my favorite supplements. And more about my favorite supplements. So all these people I've trained and worked with, I'm like, hey, try this. Hey, try this. Hey, try that. Obviously, I always try it first. But different brands, different companies, different supplements. And one thing I do early in my relationship with clients is I give them a pack of these supplements. I put them in a sample pack and I say, hey, take this for 10 days straight and tell me what you notice. And when they reflect, they're like, man, I got a lot more work done. And I hear this consistently. They're like, man, I just dug into it and their brain was just focused. And it's because of this. It's this vitamin D, K2 mixture. It's this fish oil. It's this trace mineral. So these are the brands and the products that were cost effective and clean and worked. The most underrated thing I've seen on this list is magnesium chloride flakes. People use Epsom salt. Not nearly as potent, as absorbable as magnesium chloride is a brand called Ancient Minerals. I soak in these magnesium chloride flakes. I can feel my body relaxing. I definitely sleep deeper. We can take fish oil due to allergies. Does vitamin E work? There's maybe an algae oil might be an option there, Kristen. Vitamin E, vitamin A, E, D, and K. You just want to make sure that you don't overdose. I've tested vitamin E a lot, and I haven't seen a lot of great feedback with it. So you could try it, but it's something that you could potentially overdose over a long period of time. So be careful with that one. But to simplify everything, wake up at the same day. Wake up at the same time every day. Huge. Move in the morning. Get your heart rate elevated. Breathing exercises. Do a cold dip. Get your blood pumping. Get focused. Minimize the afternoon stimulants. Take these supplements. You'll have great energy in the afternoon. You won't need stimulants. And, ask yourself, how much real estate can you really sell? If you get into this consistent rhythm, into this consistent flow, and you show up like this every day, and you don't make those mistakes, and you don't forget to contact people, and you follow up, and you get more networking, and all these things happen, what's possible? How much money could you make? How much could your business grow? You have great physical energy by following some of these fundamentals. That's most of what I have today. Can y'all put in the chat or just jump in here? Of that, what was useful? Was any of it useful?
I'm going to get in the habit of having blueberries in the morning and adding that to my routine. Also, when I get back in the States next week, I'm going to go back to the trace minerals that you had turned me on to. It's funny because a lot of these things, sometimes we'll do them, and then like with my traveling and so forth, you get out of the habit. It's so, like Jim Rome says, so easy to do and so easy not to do.
Wow.
Right? But you guys, I think Tom mentioned this disruption of the NAR situation and us having to adapt our presentations. I think more have like a listing mindset with our buyers now, which I don't think is a bad thing at all, because it does require a little bit different skill set. It's an intangible value proposition that we've got to be able to articulate. But having the energy to adapt, when I would think of competing, I'd always want the roughest, yuckiest conditions. Like if I'm in a bike race, I want it raining and muddy and yucky so that my competitors are whining. And I think when you have good physical, mental energy, you can just show up and do what you need to do to adapt to the marketplace. And while other people are whining about how tough it is and how we got to do this and we didn't have to do that before and blah, 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 if you've got your game on and you're full of energy, I think it just gives you that much more of an advantage in the marketplace. Again, right? I think look at the top performers. What are they doing? Right? They're all exercising. Kevin's in the gym 300 days in a row. I mean, dang. Hey, Matt just put his link. If you've got a dad bod and you want to work on that, I think he's got a solution for you.
Well, that's so that link I just put in there, that's a discount for all those supplements that I mentioned. I've been using them forever. I finally worked out a discount for everyone that I work with. Those I've just used forever. They've always worked. They've always been the most cost effective. If you do want to connect with me, that's my website. That's my Instagram. I do one-on-one performance coaching when we figure out what you really want and we align your daily actions to get those big objectives, those ultimate goals. I have the morning workout class with the guys, one-on-one virtual training. Don, and I wanted to leave them with one more thing. This is a document. I call it 1,000 exercises. So this is of all the things I've posted on Instagram and YouTube over the years. This is a culmination of, like, if you have back pain, do this. If you want bigger arms, do this. If you want a big cardio workout, do this. So that's this document. It's 1,000 exercises. That's a little present I wanted to gift you guys.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it. Well, Matt has been a tremendous resource for me. Great support. I hate having to tell him when I haven't done my work. So if you don't have Matt, and I certainly would encourage you to consider engaging him, but if you make sure you have somebody, make sure that, I don't know how many accountability contests I've done with Tom Daves over the years, and damn it, he usually wins. But have somebody that has got your back and that will keep you on track. And, like what I do with Matt every day, I report my weight every single day, 7 days a week. And then I have a list of different things: no alcohol, exercise, ride my bike, meditate, etc. And then when I don't do my stuff, he gives me a little crap about it. And it's good. It's really valuable. So like I said, just make sure that you're that person for somebody and that you have somebody that's got your back as well. I really want you to take away from this how important this part of the puzzle is. When you don't have your health, it just really compromises all aspects of your life. And of course, we want the best for you guys. if there's anything, if you're having a health crisis, reach out to us, and we can probably connect you to a resource that could be of some benefit to you. Or maybe you just need somebody to talk to. We can be there for that too. But I appreciate your time. Matt, thank you for showing up as you always do. I will see you in a few hours for our regular coaching session. And hopefully I won't get too much abuse.
Thank you guys for having me. It was an honor to be here. It's an honor to have your ear. It's an honor to be here. And to just reiterate what Don said about having someone, I like to have layers. So I've got a one-on-one coach. I've got workout partners. I've got people I coach that that depend on me, that I have to show up. So you could stack it up with layers. Yeah. And, y'all can do it. It's a belief in your head. So what is one change? What is one thing you can tweak that we talked about today? What's the number one thing that jumped out that you can improve on? Try to make that change.
Yeah, put that in the chat, actually, you guys. That's one thing that Matt and I have done together. I mean, truth is, I'm so imperfect. There's probably 10 things that I could do to improve my condition. But what I usually do with him is I'll be like, okay, this is the one thing you can hold me to this week, right? And I just find if you're going to start this journey, don't go from 0 to 100, go from 0 to 1, right? And then next week, go to 2, right? And, Clark is saying more exercise and, be specific. I think one of the healthiest things that you guys can do, by the way, is just get out there and walk. If you are, like, I know Matt and I have an Oura ring that will count our steps, but if you have a Apple Watch or something like that, just maybe set a discipline of, okay, I'm going to do 10,000 steps. And if you just did that, that'd be huge, right? So anyway, do something. Matt, thank you again. And just want to encourage everybody that this is such an important part of your life. I am finding, as I am approaching my 60th birthday, that it does not tend to get easier as you get older. It used to be in 2 weeks, I'd have that 6-pack rocking. And now it's taken me 2 years to get that 6-pack back. But it's coming. It's coming, baby. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. And what do we got on the docket? Who's next week, Tom? Do you know?
Russ Inyard. And he's going to bring a powerhouse as usual. So that's next week, same place, same channel. Don't miss it. Thank you, Matt. Thanks, Don.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks,
Matt. Thank you guys for having me.
Bye now.